Gosh, I can't believe it's been over 30 years that we've been together. In 1975, actually, I started practicing as an audiologist, and I was in Columbia, South Carolina, and had gone on several meetings. And a couple years after I started practice, I met Caden Williams.
We connected up at a meeting and said, gee, if you're ever in Atlanta or if you're ever here or there, let's see what we can do.
So time went on. I sold my practice in Columbia, South Carolina, moved to Atlanta, and I called Caden. It was in 1981.
She called me one day out of the blue, had come to Atlanta, we connected up. Didn't really know each other well enough to be in business together.
It was kind of a naive decision. And I think that looking back on it, it's quite comical because we do presentations all across the country telling people how to go into private practice and what you need to do to be successful, which we did none of. And we didn't have a business plan. We didn't have a marketing plan. We didn't know each other very well. We were undercapitalized by enormous amounts of money.
A failure waiting to happen, I think is how they put it. Or maybe the smartest dumb thing I ever did.
We started a hearing conservation company. We called it Occupational Noise Consultants, shortened for UNC Inc. And everyone thought it was just hysterical.
Two young things driving a Chevy step van at all the wee hours of the morning.
We equipped it with 4 independent stations for testing employees in different places that needed us for OSHA standards for hearing conservation work. We really wanted to be the best in hearing care. And I think it was really just through our hard work and determination that we made it through those young, tough days.
We both had our hearts and our souls in the same direction.
And a firm someplace in the Midwest by the name of Impact Hearing Conservation. His name was Jeff Morrill, and he purchased our account with Occupational Noise Consultants. From that point on, it was just kind of history.
We survived and thrived and started Audiological Consultants in Atlanta. And it worked because we never really considered that it wouldn't work. I mean, to be perfectly honest.
Obviously in 30 years, you can't have successful stories every day along the way. We've had our challenges and we've had our little bumps in the roads. And we always like to look at some of the things that I think most people might call failures as opportunities.
We started in Atlanta, one office, not a whole lot bigger than this room, to be perfectly honest, and have now grown to 6 office locations. At one point in time, we ventured into the Florida market. That was a mistake.
We opened 2 wonderful, beautiful offices, invested a lot of money, and decided shortly thereafter that it was not for us and needed to close them. So a lot of money down, a lot of time and energy spent, but a lot that we learned from that experience.
I'd rather fail while I'm trying than fail to try.
Audiologically, it's very different for an outside owner to come in and purchase a practice and make it successful.
We go for the skill set and the mindset and the ownership of the profession that professional brings to the table. We have great staff. I mean, absolutely great staff. There's no way in the world that Helena and I could do this alone. Our staff's fabulous, from support staff to professional staff. They're just top drawer. And I'd stack any one of them up against anybody in the country and just say, these are the best. When we started 30 plus years ago, going out into industry, we were definitely unique.
Caden and I are very different people. Although we come to different issues in a very different way, we always end up at the same point. Our outcome is always the same.
They say opposites attract. I'm not going to say we're necessarily opposite of one another, because I don't think we're total opposites, but we do bring very different skills to the table.
We share the same philosophy and goals about our business.
And we know when to pass off the baton to one or the other, both with patients as well as with our business relationships.
We work very well together, and I think that's part of what makes this partnership work.
And we respect one another. We are very different in personality, which is a good thing.
Over the years, we've been interviewed numerous times, and it's at the point that we know each other so well that I might complete a sentence for Caden, or we may be thinking on the same line and interrupt one another, but we have the same thought pattern.
I don't really know of any other business partnership in our industry, in our profession, that has lasted that long. So it's like a marriage. You approach things hopefully similarly, hopefully with the same goals. There's going to be give and take, and I think we do that well. And that's why I think we've thrived.
Reflecting back on the 30 years, it's very interesting because you have to think a little bit about the present and the future. And looking at our future, I think we have a pretty strong future.
We have been successful and continue to be successful is that we're always looking for what's coming ahead.
We have technology that's the most amazing technology since we've been in practice. And we have the most exciting designs and things that are available to the public.
I'm always hoping for something new, something better, to serve the needs of the public. If I were advising a young audiologist, I would advise an audiologist to keep their mind open, keep their hearts open, make sure they're patient-driven, have a great partner. I do, I've got the best. And always, always, always be open to new ideas.
I think my advice to audiologists in general is that it's important to own the profession of audiology. We believe so strongly and so passionately about what we do. It doesn't matter where you practice, as long as there's no other professional or profession that dictates what you do in your heart and what you believe in as an audiologist.
I think we're damn good at what we do. Not just good, I think we're really good at what we do.
I think we have big years ahead of us, and I look forward to working with Caden almost as many years in the future as I have in the past.
It's a fun profession.